people going to think of our new buttermilk crispy chicken? Let's find out.
It's probably the best sandwich I've ever had.
It's super crispy, but it's also really juicy.
So would you guys come back?
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, here's our card. The location is on the back. It's McDonald's? What? What?
Oh, get out
No way.
Wait, seriously?
Try some buttermilk crispy chicken. It's right around the corner at McDonald's. Buttermilk.
Good morning and welcome to this week's edition of Ask the Coach here on WCLU. I'm Sports Director Joe Myers, joined this morning, as always, by Glasgow head football coach Jeff Garman. Scotties traveled across town and took on their rival Barron County Trojans last night. Glasgow coming away with an impressive 34-15 victory over Barron County. Scotties running their record to 2-1 on the year, handing Barron County its first loss of the season, dropping them to 2-1 on the year as well. And Jeff, boy, what a ball game for your club last night. I thought your kids played very, very well.
You know, I thought our kids really stepped up, and we knew it was going to be a crazy-like environment, and when you play against Barron County, you know, you're probably going to get your biggest gates of the year. So we knew it was going to kind of be a crazy environment, and we thought that, you know, one thing that we hadn't seen all year was Barron County come from behind. They had gotten out and gotten ahead of both of their ball games. So, I mean, we wanted to try to score early and get ahead and see what we could do. But I just thought our boys played really, really well tonight and kind of rose to the occasion.
We talked in the pregame about the mindset of your kids going into this. So many of your kids getting their first major playing time in a rivalry game like this, and how those young kids would handle it. I thought they shined, Jeff.
Well, you know, and I've said this since day one, that when you have a young football team, you must show improvement. And I think over the 3 games, and that's the sample that we have, I think our kids have played a little bit better each week, and especially on offense.
One of the kids that just had another great night, Desi Austin, your quarterback, 16 of 23, 231 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Desi yet to throw an INT so far this year, and we talked in the postgame about just how you can see Desi growing and gaining confidence back there in the backfield at the quarterback spot.
Yeah, and knock on wood, I think we've only had 1 turnover all year long, and that was on a special teams play. So, you know, 3 things that we stressed, and, you know, again, I've said this from day one, we stress tackling, we stress blocking, and we stress taking care of the football. And you know, and so far this year, we've done a really good job tonight in those areas.
And with Desi, not only is he putting the ball on target, especially last night, but I thought his decision-making was really good, too. There were some times when he needed to throw the football away to avoid a sack. There were some times when nothing was there, maybe down the field. He tucked it and ran with it, got what he could. Just good decision-making, I thought, last night.
Yeah, I mean, and that in this offense, that quarterback position, it's harder than it looks. I mean, and you've got to get a pre-snap read, and you kind of, you know, have to look and think where you're going to throw the ball before you throw it, and I thought he's done an excellent job in doing that. And then our receivers, I think, have done a good job after the catch. You know, yards after, you know, it's yards after the catch is the big thing, and I think that's where we excelled, you know, overall tonight, because it wasn't like, you know, we were continuously putting their defense in a bind all night long. If they wanted to play back off of us, we was going to throw it short. If they were going to try to come up there on us, we're going to throw it over the top, and we were successful in that all night long. And that starts off with the offensive line that was giving Desi time to do that, and I thought the offensive line played really well tonight.
They opened up some holes for your running game, too. Kyle Nixon was able to get some big holes. Kyle runs for 12 times for 73 yards. Jasper Mundy, 8 carries, 29 yards. So you got some more of that balance you were looking for on offense last night. 139 rushing yards, 231 passing.
Again, you know, Kyle's just a sophomore. You know, he had played in 2 varsity games and 3 JV games in his life at Glasgow High School. And we're slowly seeing a different ball player every week when Kyle comes out. And I thought tonight Kyle by far had his best night. And we saw some of the speed that Kyle has. And I thought Kyle did just a fabulous job. He's such a good kid, and I was so happy to see him do well.
Ben Hughes, Jeff, has put together back-to-back incredible games at the wide receiver spot. Last night, 8 catches, 112 yards, 3 touchdowns. Last week, I think it was 4 catches, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So 12 catches, over 250 yards, 5 touchdowns for Ben. He's really emerging as a threat for you at wide receiver, isn't he?
Ben sure is, and it starts not just out there on the field. It starts just in his the way he's handling himself this year. And he, as you know, after his sophomore year, going into his junior year, you know, we were looking for him to mature and become more of a complete ball player, and I think he's really done that. His attitude's been great, and you know, he's a major player in all this that we do.
Something that you guys obviously had in the offensive game plan. It was a big part of what you did, the bubble screens to your wide receivers. They went for big yardage tonight. Why did that work for you against the defense that Barron County was playing?
Well, you know, with their scheme, what they were doing, they were taking 23 and sending him off. He was lined up as an inside on one of our inside receivers, and they were blitzing him off the edge. They had done that. We knew that's how they were going to play. And you know, then a situation, you get a two on two situation, and we just felt like that our receivers, they are our playmakers on our team, and we were going to try to get them the ball and let them do some damage one-on-one. And you know, Ben's not an easy fella to tackle out there, and neither is Murphy. So I mean, give them credit. I mean, they made plays, and that's what you expect out of your playmakers.
That play that Griffin Murphy made, we got to talk about that, Jeff. Griffin winds up with 3 catches for 78 yards. His longest was a 62-yard touchdown reception. He got caught from behind just inside the 10-yard line. You would have loved to have seen him score with the effort he gave on that play, but it looked like he was going to be taken down for a short loss on a pass over the middle. He puts his hand down, I think almost really rolled over on top of a Barron County defender. His knee never goes down. It looked like he was down, but he obviously was not. You could tell that his knee never went down. Kept his legs turning and wound up making a big 62-yard play out of it.
Just a great athletic play, and you know, the closest thing I had seen to that, ever saw that, was on, you know, NFL football. Randall Cobb made a play similar to that. It all happened so fast, and it was all, you know, I'm surprised that there wasn't a whistle blown on it, to be honest with you. But just athleticism, I mean, and you know, we can't coach that. That's just what God gave him, and he uses it, you know, to the fullest.
We spent the first several minutes here talking about your offense, but we need to give your defense a lot of credit too, Jeff. At halftime, Barron County had 180 total yards. By game's end, at halftime they had 140 total yards. By game's end, they only had 180. So your defense really tightened down and only allowed 40 total yards of offense to the Trojans in the third and fourth quarter.
Well, you know, I thought our defense really stepped up and played well. We kind of got stuck out there on the field in the second quarter and kind of got tired. And you know, I know the boys were doing the best they could, you know, and they were kind of just running over us in that second quarter and kind of got us on our heels a little bit. And I thought that score before halftime really lifted our boys' spirits a little bit too. But in the second half, I basically – looked those boys in the eye on defense and told them, this is y'all's ball game to win, and it, you know, if y'all stop them, we're going to win the game. And they rose to the occasion and played well together, and I was just really proud of them.
Of course, one of the big playmakers for Barron County is Nick Mabe, and you guys hold him to 1 carry for 4 yards. Of course, he's does most of his damage at wide receiver and as a returner typically, but Nick only catches 2 passes for 9 yards. You punted the ball away from him. You kicked the ball away from him. So obviously you accomplished what you wanted to by not letting Mabe beat you.
Well, you know, he's a game changer, and you got to make sure you try to limit his touches as best you can. I thought the couple of times they did throw the ball, we swarmed. They threw the ball out there to him. I think he caught a couple of passes. You know, we got a lot of hats to the football, and you know, give Dalvin Smith credit. You know, we gave him the responsibility of shutting Mabe down, and there were some looks that they gave us. We were able to shade some help towards him, but there were a lot of looks Dalvin had to take care of him on himself. You know, I rode Dalvin hard all week long about, you know, being able to stop Mabe and challenged him, and Dalvin really stepped up to the occasion, and that's just another sophomore, I mean, that really, really played well tonight.
I thought some kids on defense that I want to mention individually really played well for you. First of all, Silverio Greer, Jeff, he gets his first varsity start as a sophomore at linebacker. We had Silverio with 9 tackles on the night. Henry Harris, I thought, had one of his better games at his linebacker position. He had 9 tackles on the night. And Matthew Molden continues his stellar play down inside on the defensive line. We had him for 7 tackles and a sack tonight. Thought all 3 of those kids really played well. A lot of other kids did too, but those 3 stood out to me on defense.
Silverio, I thought played really well, but, I thought it all kind of started with Henry. I thought Henry really played well tonight, and he tackled well. And, we'd had some plays in the first 2 games where our linebackers, had chances to make plays and didn't. And we kind of inserted Silverio in there for Josiah. And it's not that Josiah wasn't playing real well. I was just looking at it as, Josiah he was playing about 140 plays a night. I don't know. He was playing more plays than anybody on the team, and besides a couple of our skilled guys. But, Josiah's getting contact every single play. When you play linebacker and you play on the offensive line, that's just asking a lot. And so we went that route this week. Josiah came in, Drake Poland, who I thought played well tonight too, banged up his shoulder, and Josiah went in and played anchor, and I thought he did a really good job.
We'll come back in just a minute, look at the drive chart from last night's ball game, and go over all the scoring plays as we talk with Scotty head coach Jeff Garman after his ball club defeats Berrien County 34-15 last night at Trojan Field. We're back after this on WCLU Sports.